Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Game Vault podcast stream. I'm your host, Mark. We're back with the news hour for the last week of June 2026. God, this year has flown by. And I think mainly the days for me have flown by because of my new position at work. So I'm basically working. I don't have time where I'm just sitting there doing nothing. So the days are sort of like rapid fire. Um, and then the weekends go quick because that's when I try to squeeze in all my gaming and all my, uh, you know, gym and all that stuff. Yeah, I think once we get through the summer, I'll be a little less frazzled and less tired, and maybe able to um, be a little bit more energy in some of the streams here. But anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody's June has been good as we prepare for the important holiday coming up, not this Monday, next Monday. Everyone should celebrate, um, on next Monday. So make sure you do that. But yeah, without further ado, let me just get into what I've been playing. So we'll start out with what I've been streaming. So this week, it was mainly I just streamed Trails on Saturday. We got, I'm going to say, at worst, halfway through the final dungeon. At best, we're 2/3 of the way through. So we finished like 2 or 3 sections. We're looking for a name and a password now, and we've rescued people, and one of the villains said, okay, they're going to let me do my thing. I think they're sort of setting me up, where we are. Try not to do too much spoilers, trying to be as vague as possible. So yeah, I think we're pretty much there. Funny part is I've been going through this final dungeon. I think I've been getting everyone's ultimate weapon, but I have gotten every weapon except for the people I have in my party. I got one. I got the whip for Shira. I got her, what seems like the final weapon, the ultimate weapon for the game, for her. But I got the bow for Father Kevin, the wrist guard thing or whatever, bracer or whatever Zin has. And I got the sword for Chloe. And I got a gun, and I gave the gun to Josette. And I'll probably go to Olivier at some point. But yeah, so we're prattling along there. Combat is, I'm a little over leveled for some of the normal things at this point. I think taking out a couple of those palms like I did, shot my level up to, I think you're supposed to be in the early. Hey, Night Duck. I think you're supposed to be in the early 70s, late 60s. And everyone on my team is in 80, except or close to 80. So some of the fodder enemies are just getting destroyed pretty easily, with either one attack or one magic spell. So I'm not really too concerned about those, and they're not really giving me much in the way. I think they're giving me 50 experience points. And to level up, I need 2,000 or plus each level. So, not getting much there. So, it's basically I've been running by a lot of enemies, and they're not even worth it. So. The pressure's on, Night Duck. Yeah, so. I have been, I got through enough of that. We would have probably gotten a little bit further. But I had done a stupid thing where I didn't start the fast travel thing before moving on. So I had to backtrack all the way through the dungeon to get back to the beginning where I needed to be. When I could have just used the fast travel point. So we lost about 10, 15 minutes there. But anyway, I think we're going to finish it on Saturday. I did 4 hours. I know it sounds like a prison sentence. But they were streamed for 4 hours on Saturday and got pretty far. So I think another 4-hour stream we should be done. Then it's on the Neo Fantasian. I might take a week off and then start Neo. But we'll see. And then outside of it, I played a lot of FIFA and just had soccer on. and played a ton. Well, FC, not FIFA, the EA soccer game. Played a lot of that. And while the soccer games were on, and then I did take the time to pause the dehydration every time the players did to make sure that I stayed hydrated while playing. And then, once that was over, today I mostly played. I played Mario Kart World and got all the tracks finished at 50cc. So, and then I did, a couple of the knockout things. And then I tried to do the online, but I'm decent at it, but I don't think I'm ever going to win one of those. The furthest I made it was into the top 16, and then I didn't get the 12th for the knockouts. And so, not... I'll probably just jump on there if I'm wasting, if I want to kill time or whatever. But, it's still, it's Mario Kart, so it's a decent kart racer. I think the thing... Yeah, no, that's true. I just wanted to try it out today. I was like, hey, I did all this. I'm not going to go do the 100 cc's, things. Oh, 50cc is super duper easy. Yeah, I know that for sure. But the, what's it called? Yeah, but the way it is, the one thing I like, I like Sonic Cross Worlds better. For the main reason that the, what's it called? The rival system, where you have a rival racer that's with you, they will, be able to, you level up that, you have a race, you have something to concentrate on, even if you're not winning. Yeah, the game is built like that, and kind of can help a little bit more than the what's it called, than Mario Kart does. But so having some fun with it. And to answer your question, I know I'm dropping a lot of frames, but I'm local recording it, so I'm just going to roll through it. So I do apologize for everyone watching live here. Yeah, don't know really what the issue is, but I'm going to just roll with it. Thank you for the sub, Metal Militia, 63 months in a row. It should be coming back soon. But yeah, so I played that today. Yeah, and then I checked out a few demos, and I checked out the Star Fox demo, and I realized that I might like doing the what's it called? Invert it. Because I tried doing it without, and for some reason my brain didn't work with it. I don't know why. I'm not a what's it called? I'm just just the invert it. I'm trying for some reason. I've been doing much better at it. I love the demo. It gives you an easy and normal mode, so I can keep playing that until I eventually get the game to kind of learn it a little bit. But yeah, it looks tremendous. It plays great. So I'm excited for when I eventually get it down the road here to play the full game. But yeah, I had a much better experience with this than when I tried playing the 64 version. So the only thing I didn't like was there's a thing in the tutorial that sort of would confuse me a bit, but I don't know if they were if it's something that happens in the game as well. I haven't watched anybody play yet, so I'm not sure. The The other demo I played the Rhythm Heaven demo, Rhythm Heaven Groove. I think my TV, I need to. We tried to do the syncing it on the Rhythm Heaven. So the Rhythm Heaven said they couldn't do it. I don't know why. Next time I'm going to try and do it with the Joy Cons. I was doing it with my Pro controller. Maybe that's the difference. So when we get done here, I'm going to try and sync it up with that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get better at some of the games with that. But Rhythm Heaven's great. It's one of those things. It's like when I played Hi-Fi Rush, where if I was looking at what was going on and not just doing the counts in my head, I wouldn't get the timing down. Like there's this one thing where there's like 5 of you, and you're the 5th one, and you each jump through a hoop, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I was watching as everyone jumped, I would miss. But if I just listened to the beat and then hit it when the 5th beat comes, I would clear it every time. Which obviously with the rhythm game, that's what rhythm games are. I know that. I'm not saying I'm inventing some great thing here by knowing that. But it's one of those things where it's weird that you want to actually watch what's going on the screen, but I can't to be able to do it. So maybe if I get the sync done well, it'll be better. But it didn't stop me. I did really good on everything that was on there, but it seemed like it was off just a tiny bit. I put it in game mode and all that, but it was a weird thing with the calibration with Rhythm Heaven Groove. So, and not that I would have much of an opinion on it, other demos I've done, but I downloaded the Kingdom Hearts 3 demo that's on there just to play, just have something on my Switch too, to play a little bit, but probably won't have much to report on that. But yeah, so that's basically all I played. Played a lot of soccer, because of all the World Cup stuff going on. I did go to a game on Thursday, which was a lot of fun, and didn't get as badly sunburned as I could have. I did put sunscreen on, but I didn't want to risk trying to bring sunscreen in to the game. So I wore off, but thankfully my seats, the sun went behind the stadium, like right at game time and right about when the sunscreen would wear off. So I got red a little bit from the like half hour that I was under. I don't know if my face, you can see it anywhere on my face, but we came out of that unscathed. But yeah, next week we have NCAA, and there's a bunch of things coming up over the next couple months that we'll be getting into. We have Control Resident, which may be the game I choose. I just got to look at that September block and figure out what's the next game for us here, and just see also if there's anything else coming out in the summer. I probably wouldn't play Mina here as much as I'm probably going to buy that. But yeah, so that's about all I've been playing. I'd love to hear what you guys have been playing. So if you want to hit us up on socials, we're on Instagram, Blue Sky. But the best place to talk video games with us is over on our Discord that we have with TC Tam. That's They Call This a Movie. It's the other podcast that I do. So if you, for $1, join our Patreon there, it's patreon.com/TCTamPod. That's TCTAM Pod. And just $1, you can join the Discord and chat with us about video games, music, movies. We do a question of the week there. We have polls for the movie thing. I might start doing polls for, especially with all the games coming out, for either the podcast or just our streaming in general. Once I get a little more time to, not stressed out and tired because of work. So, yeah. Oh, so Night Dog says he's really been into Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. It's like a Skyrim Arthurian legend. Okay. Yeah, I could see that's interesting. That's definitely in your wheelhouse, for sure. So I'm not surprised. I got to look that up because that might be also something I might be interested in as well. Uh, but yeah, so like comments like that. If you're here live, you can just let me know what you've been playing and we can discuss it on air. But the Discord does let you talk about much of other stuff: wrestling, TV, just about anything, movies. And it's just $1. You can join us knuckleheads over there, and have some good discussions. Where we had to, for anybody that's wrestling fans out there listening to the podcast, where we had to explain to Dan why we were making El Generico references when Sami Zayn won the World Heavyweight, or the Undisputed Universal title, whatever that one title is called that he won on Saturday. Um, Me and Tom have way too much deep wrestling knowledge that sometimes we forget that not everybody has as deep of wrestling knowledge as us. But it's fun things like that. You learn things over on that channel. You also get 2 a.m. messages from Dan when I think he was on edibles. So fun stuff over there on the Discord. That's all I have here. Let's head on over to... let me just make sure the news is ready, because I did kind of come in hot with the news. All right, let's go to the news. Yeah, and this is where we're starting. Not so great news. Video games news has not been great for a long time. We're going to walk through some of the shitty stuff, and then there's one real fun thing at the end, or two kind of fun things at the end. A lot of down stuff here, but we'll report on it. First off, Sony confirms it's laying off most of the Destiny team and some Marathon devs. Update: the studio head, Bungie studio head, has also departed. The news was broken by the Destiny 2 studio in a statement on X saying, "With great sadness, we are announcing a reduction in force as we reorganize Bungie." It added, "As the leaders of Bungie, past and present, we recognize Destiny 2 fell short of expectations these past several years. Following our final content update to Destiny 2, and with our future projects still in early incubation, we unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size. We know this decision has a profound impact on the people affected, their friends, families, and teammates. While these changes are necessary to best position the studio now and for the future, that doesn't lessen the difficulty of this moment or the impact it has on those affected. Later, we will share more about the future with you all, but today is not that day. Today, we wish to extend our gratitude and compassion to every member of the Bungie team who has been impacted and to those who remain. We hope you will do the same." Sony Interactive CEO Herman Hulst informed SIE employees of the news today, sending an internal email, which was later published on the Sony website. And basically, he just talks about the layoffs as well. So just terrible stuff all over. Like, layoffs have been going on for years, and it is amazing how, and we all know why, this change has happened, but just the change in the, idea of what success is. Destiny 2, or Destiny itself, was a 10-year live service game. Now, did it ever reach the heights of, maybe it did early on, but of like a Fortnite or something like that? No. Maybe not even like a Minecraft. But it was still successful. It had, a ton of people played it. Maybe it lost a little bit of quality as it got along, sure. Maybe it ran out of things to do with it. But to call it a failure is the only thing I take umbrage with, outside of the obvious layoffs in the statement there. Now, could you have said that it didn't live up, that it didn't, let me make sure he didn't say this in there, even though I just read it. So obviously, Bungie is saying what I'm saying, that it just fell short of expectations in terms of the quality they could put out and all that stuff. But what expectation means to the shareholders and Sony is that it didn't make enough money for them. And when you try to do year-over-year ROI, return on investment, I don't think you can do that in video games. I couldn't find the exact story to pull, or I just didn't have enough time to find it, to be honest. But on the flip side, I believe it was Nintendo? Is it Nintendo or Capcom? Yeah, exactly. Nintendo or Capcom, and getting to that point, like, just raised base salaries for all their employees. Because they want to keep the teams together, because everybody's staying on is what makes games less expensive to make and quicker to get out, because everybody knows what they're doing already. You don't need to teach people. So that's like the opposite of what's going on at like Sony and Microsoft. Yeah, it's always, I think Square Enix has even said, or at least the Final Fantasy people have said, the reason why Rebirth and Revelation were able to come out so quickly was because they didn't really lay off anybody. So everybody was used to the engine, they were used to the game, they knew what they were doing, and they were able to just do it quickly. And I don't know where well, obviously it's the shareholders that just want as much money as possible. That's where the disconnect is. But the fact that a Japanese studio, whether it was Nintendo or Capcom, actually understanding that investing in the teams to keep them together will make you more money in the long term than just laying off people and just doing turnover constantly. But yeah, so this was the main sad news of the week. And then I feel like Xbox and Sony sort of collabed on two news stories. Like, I think it was back when Sony raised their prices, Xbox was announcing layoffs. And then this time when Sony was announcing layoffs, Xbox raised its prices. So that's our next story. Microsoft is raising the price of Xbox consoles by another $100 to $150. Microsoft is raising the price of the Xbox Series S and X by $100 for 512 gigabyte models and $150 for 1 terabyte models. It's announced while the 2 terabyte model consoles will be discontinued. Starting August 1st, the cheapest Series X 1 terabyte model without a disk drive will retail for $749, while the disk drive will retail for $799. The cheapest 512 Xbox Series S model will now cost $499, with the 1 terabyte model going for $599. Microsoft raised the prices of its Xbox consoles twice last year. The latest rise means the Xbox Series X disk drive model now costs $300 more than it did at launch in 2020, while the Series X is 50% more expensive. In a statement, Xbox blamed the price increases on the current component crisis impacting the consumer electronics industry, which has seen all three major console manufacturers raise prices significantly. We hope another price increase would not be necessary, and we have spent the last several months working with suppliers on options. The company said, unfortunately, console storage and memory prices have increased more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027. Alongside the price rise news, Microsoft also announced new programs to help make its consoles more affordable, including buy now, pay later options through Microsoft stores, and interest-free financing for up to 12 months via Amazon. The company also said it's working with retail partners on new programs to provide previously played consoles at lower prices. Players who are ready to upgrade or no longer use their console will be able to trade it in with participating retail. They're creating GameStop. Retail partners for cash or store credit. Those consoles would then be available at a new price. Jesus Christ. News of the programs follows comments from CEO Ashish Sharma earlier this month indicating Xbox was exploring radically different business models to make its next console affordable. Earlier this week, Valve confirmed its Steam machine would retail for over $1,000, a price point some analysts later speculated would be the floor for the next console. generation expected to arrive in 2027. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah. In regards to this, this is very much the statement they put out. I when talking to uh, uh, Tom about this, um, I put the gif from I Think You Should Leave, where he's the guy in the hot dog suit that drove the hot dog car into a store, and he comes out and he goes, we're just trying to find out the guy that did this. And I feel that's Microsoft pointing out the component charges are going up, as they were the people that put like 140 something billion dollars into AI, and generative AI and data centers are the reason for the component increase that's forcing you to raise your own prices. So you can't blame the. I mean, it is the reason, but you can't blame that for prices going up, and you're one of the main funders of the thing that is making the prices go up. You don't get any sympathy from anybody for that. Not that corporations should get sympathy anyway, but it is very very much like real bad look, using that as an excuse, when everyone knows you're part of the reason why everything is going up. But hopefully AI goes away at some point. I doubt it will. It makes things too easy for people, and it means that if AI can make shitty video games that still sell enough money to make profit for shareholders, then AI is going to still be a thing. I just think it's going to kill our planet, but there's no way of convincing people of that anymore. So, but yeah, very much Microsoft was playing cover for Sony here by doing this price raising, or vice versa, with these two news stories, which is why I wanted to put them together. All right, moving on. In even more extension off of what we just read, as Xbox Series X hits $800, Lenovo warns memory prices will luckily never return to normal. You mean once they raise prices and people will actually buy it at the higher prices, the companies won't make them cheaper? Shocked face. Lenovo has said that the price of memory will likely never return to the levels seen before prices began rising rapidly around a year ago. The electronics firm made the comment during a presentation by Executive Director Martin Heigl at the ISC conference in Germany this week, as reported by Computer Base. Heigl reportedly told attendees DRAM and NAND, there's probably a shorthand way of saying this, but my brain, NAD? Whatever. Prices will not return to their previous levels for a long time, even after significantly increased production capacity is implemented. The Lenovo exec said that prices will likely never fall back to the levels seen a year ago. However, the never comment was reportedly exaggerated, and Heigl was likely referring to the next 5 years and a little beyond. The comments came in the same week that Microsoft claimed that memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times this year, and it expects another doubling by the end of next year. Yeah. As I mentioned before, the sharp rising cost of memory is widely attributed to the demand for AI data centers, with major vendors signing long-term deals with AI firms. However, as spotted by WCCF Tech, an executive at technology firm Micron blamed Apple for its alleged role in the crisis. Without directly naming Apple, Micron's chief business officer, Sumit Sadana, claimed that Micron had informed a couple of its customers, who were being very aggressive with pricing, that their strategy was not constructive. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like, it is literally like, as Night Duck points out here, and I was going to ask them this question. Metal Militia and Night Duck. Yeah, Lenovo doesn't sell RAM or or SSDs or hard drives. Like, are they just, is it just based off what they're, like, hearing? Like, they have no control over this. And they do not know one way or the other. And the price going up and down really has no effect on their business outside of maybe they can't sell pre-builts for as much money. But most people are probably not going to be buying pre-builts anymore because God knows what those prices will be. Most people, if they're savvy computer building people, will probably go on the, used market and hopefully find something that works when something breaks. But yeah, it was just funny. That again, this whole thing is like, yeah, Microsoft Copilot and AI data centers and, whoa, we don't know why prices are going up. It's just, I just had to put this on here just to inform everybody out there so that we can kind of vent together in terms of this, because there's no end in sight for it, and it's just sad. I'm glad I built this guy, and I cross my fingers every day that nothing breaks on it, because this motherboard and stuff are getting up there. So thankfully, motherboards they've gotten expensive, but not as expensive as RAM and hard drives have gone up. So just keep my fingers crossed for my RAM. And I'm glad I got that 8 terabyte hard drive when I did, because I think it was only $100 for that 8 terabyte that we used the PayPal money for, so that I can keep all these lovely videos that I make for you here. So yeah, moving on to something that's not a shock. Xbox hits worst U.S. sales month on record. PS5 drops 58% as hardware prices soar. Xbox just had its worst May on record in terms of hardware unit sales, while PlayStation 5 fell to its lowest since May 2000, lowest May since 2000, as consumers feel the impact of increasing prices. That's according to Circana's latest video game sales report, which reports that PlayStation 5 sales declined 58% compared to last May, while Xbox hardware sales fell by 12%. Overall spending on game hardware has actually increased 38% when compared to a year ago, but this was propped up by Nintendo Switch 2. PlayStation spending was down 43%, driven by recent price increases, while Xbox hardware actually grew 7% compared to a year ago. Notably, the average price for a new unit of video game hardware reached $502 in May, which is up 14% compared to a year ago. Last month, the average price of a PlayStation 5 console increased 33% from a year ago, and Series X is up 22%. Yeah, so basically, you raise prices on things and people stop buying them, and that's why they're trying to scramble to figure out ways to have people buy systems, because people are going to want to buy systems for GTA 6, and they're either going to wait for things to calm down, and GTA 6 don't sell a lot. We have a story on that coming up, but the people that need to get consoles for it are going to like artificially prop up the hardware business, because Xbox is doing the thing they're doing, because as the story's coming up, everybody's going to PS5 for GTA 6, allegedly. But yeah, it's. I saw somewhere, I forget who was talking about it. I think it might have been Will Smith on, not that Will Smith. Will Smith, in the video game sphere, was talking about that this is pretty much, close to the crash, like in the 80s. The only difference is that there's not like bins of games for like $1, like there was with the Atari crash in the early 80s. Like, it's going to be, these companies are going to lose as much money as those companies did, because it's going to be hard to get people to buy hardware. And, if you, are trying to depend on software, and then, it just, they're getting pretty close to that. It's never going to be a full collapse like Atari had. And we're never going to feel it like we think we would feel a crash, because even people back then didn't feel it. Because by the time it trickled down, before people noticed there was something wrong, Nintendo came out. And sort of nobody really that wasn't plugged in new. And I feel that's kind of where we're at here, where we're all plugged in and we can see all this stuff going on with the numbers. But the average consumer is not going to understand what it is and go. And all of a sudden they'll be like, wait, why can't I buy a PS5 now? They're out of stock? Oh, people must be buying them, and not because they can't build them anymore because of how expensive everything is. So, all right, moving on. And as I mentioned, GTA 6 rumored numbers came out for pre-orders. So for this story, people should wait for real data. Xbox refutes claims that GTA 6 on PS5 is outselling Xbox 8-1. Xbox has denied claims that the PlayStation 5 version of Grand Theft Auto 6 is outselling Xbox Series X S version by a ratio of 8-1. A post recently shared on social media by IGN claimed that the PS5 version of the game was selling 8 times more copies than the Xbox Series X version, based on the site's own affiliate link data. The post claims the IGN community has pre-ordered GTA 6 on PS5 8 times more often than Xbox, with the accompanying text reading, through IGN Finds and Commerce Affiliate Linking Program, the data showing PlayStation is outperforming Xbox by a rate of 8-1. An Xbox spokesperson has now refuted the claim, telling Windows Central that affiliate data shouldn't be extrapolated and presented as the full picture. This data doesn't represent pre-order data. The Xbox spokesperson told the publication, we've had record orders. People should wait for the real data and not click on affiliate links. PlayStation started rebranding its console dashboards and mobile app this week to mark the opening for pre-orders for GTA 6, and also has marketing partnership in place with Rockstar, where Sony is declaring the game plays best on PS5. Pre-orders for this highly anticipated GTA 6 opened on Thursday. Rockstar confirmed that while a physical version of the game will launch in November, it won't include a disc drive. That's our next story. I might actually just skip that since it's here. Will be shipped as a code in the box. Industry analysts have told VGC this week that the decision to release Grand Theft Auto without a disc is unlikely to have significant impact on game sales and is indicative of an industry that has slowly been moving towards digital only. The games business, Chris Dring, told VGC that in his opinion, the decision is one that entirely benefits Rockstar and will see the game selling in large numbers regardless, despite the negative impacts it'll have on retailers. So yeah. Sure, Jan. Yeah, the Sony is going full marketing everything behind you. I wouldn't be surprised. It might not be 8-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a significant number difference between PS5 and Xbox, because you know, the people that are just GTA gamers, you know, could have been saving their money and just will go get a PS5 Pro, which might be the best way to play the game. Since I don't think it's coming out to PC right away. So, you know, it will be... I would make a prediction here that it will sell more on PlayStation than Xbox. Just because Xbox has the bad vibes right now. Even the Bungie stuff won't affect PlayStation too much. But all the other bad vibes from Xbox are just going to kill this. The people that have a choice will go with PlayStation. You know, the ones that don't have the new console will play a PS5 instead of an Xbox. Just because they're being told that that's the best place to play. So 8-1's a little out there. It's crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 3-1 or 4-1. That might even be a little high, but it might be something significant like that. So, yeah, we'll move on to the next story. We'll just see. Yeah, so basically Rockstar confirming, we saw that over there. So we can go into the next story, which is an update basically to this story, is the GTA 6 disc version will reportedly be coming in December, insiders claim. Physical copies of GTA 6, which will include a disc, are set to come out in December, it is claimed. That's according to Polish site ppe.pl, whose insider, Grazardi? That's how you probably say that. Was previously responsible for the initial claims that GTA would not have a physical version on release day in order to prevent leaks. Shortly after that report was published, Rockstar's parent company Take-Two denied that it was planning to release a physical version of GTA sometime after its November 19th release. This week, it was finally confirmed that while GTA 6 will indeed have a physical release on November 19th, it will be a code in box rather than physical disc. This partially corroborated Grazardi's claims that the game won't have a physical release, at least in a traditional sense, because Rockstar wanted to prevent leaks. Now Grazardi, who handles physical game sales in Europe and previously correctly leaked information on release dates of Oblivion remastered physical copies, the Switch 2 port of Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and the PS5 port of Microsoft Flight Simulator, says that this version of GTA 6 will still be coming this year. Reporting again via ppe.pl, they claim that the code-in-box versions of GTA 6 are only for the initial production run, and that both PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X will get physical copies containing a disc sometime in December. Generally speaking, the release with the code will be a one-shot, and the option for disc release will follow. Grazardi claimed via machine translation. There was no way they weren't going to release a disc, because everybody is online. But if you you do what you're doing with the digital, if you're worried about leaks or whatever early here, sure, whatever. But you do need to release a disc at some point, at least at this point in time. Because you're cutting off a piece of the audience that can't download your game, especially if it's going to be like 200 gigs. So you increase your sales by doing a limited physical thing in December, rather than never doing it. So I'm not surprised by this at all. The best news of the whole GTA thing is that it's going to be $80, and it didn't go crazy and set a new standard. All it does is, this being $80 just opens the crack for every other game to be $80 going from here on out. But if they would have done 70, 80 would have been closed. If they would have went to 90, then 80 would have been for sure. Landing at 80 makes it a little unsure of it. All right, so moving on. Speaking of other shit that makes us angry, Epic Games CEO says it's really irresponsible of Steam to make studios disclose AI use. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney has criticized rival Valve for forcing studios to disclose when they use AI in game development. Since 2024, Valve has required developers to disclose on Steam whether generative AI was used in the creation of their games. Then this appears on the game store page in a section called AI-generated content disclosure. This was reportedly tweaked in January 2026 to make it clearer to developers that the two main types of AI that needed a disclosure are the use of AI to generate content for the game, or AI content generated during gameplay, while AI-powered tools such as code helpers don't have to be disclosed. In a new interview with PC Gamer, Sweeney has criticized Steam's requirement, claiming that any developer who declares that it uses AI to generate game content for its game risk being vilified by players. I wonder why, Tim Sweeney. It's unfortunate we're in this situation. It's unfortunate that so many developers are now put in this position. If you want to launch a game and get it as widely publicized as possible, you've got to put it on Steam so people can wishlist it. And if you want to play it on Steam, then you have to get the scarlet letter of AI attached to your product. And now there's a hater community trying to kill the game. I think it's really irresponsible of Valve. They shouldn't do it because it makes it much, much, much harder for a game developer to have a chance of success. You have to choose from either not using tools that can make you way more productive and probably failing due to competition that does. So the No surprise here that Tim Sweeney's defending AI and the use of AI because, as this photo says, if you're watching the video version, they have integrated AI into Unreal Engine 6, so they need us to not be a problem for developers because then developers won't use Unreal Engine 6, and that would be a problem for Epic because that's part of the place they get a lot of their money. Is by licensing Unreal Engine. So, yeah. The whole thing is just... I think Valve's doing it right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, Tim Sweeney... The only reason I actually brought the story in is just for the idea that I think Valve is doing it right. By letting people know so people can make a full decision. If people are that much against AI, then, then that's the company's fault for using AI when they know what the situation would be. So, yeah, Tim Sweeney, not the most trustworthy or like good person in this discussion here. As Night Duck mentioned that he literally said that Elon Musk should not be charged with selling CSAM because it means he doesn't get to do what he wants, and all these CEOs that are in that evil circle just want to be able to do what they want, and letting fans know that AI is a game. I like how they're listing it as haters and not just like gamers. There are some haters that'll just hate for any reason, but this is a legitimate reason. Yeah, so Night Duck explains it a little bit more than I did here, so I'll just read it for the audio listeners. The thing with Unreal 6 is that they also removed the old popular tools when they added the AI stuff. So even if you like AI, it means you have to retrain every employee in order to switch to Unreal 6. So yeah, this is why he's vehemently defending this stuff, because they've integrated AI way too much into Unreal 6. So, the gaming industry, yay. And finally, our last two stories aren't as, are a little more encouraging and fun than this, so I want to leave us with some funny stuff. Not funny, but OD has a secret system to help players too scared to keep playing, Kojima says. Hideo Kojima has shared a new image of his Xbox-published horror game OD and claimed that it will go beyond the limits of the scariness that other games have achieved. Last shown at an event last September, OD is described by Kojima Productions as a completely new gaming experience that runs on Unreal Engine 5. Kojima is collaborating with movie director Jordan Peele on OD, which stars Hunter Schafer, Udo Kier, and Sophia Lillis. Oh, excuse me. In a new feature marking Xbox's 25th anniversary, Entertainment Weekly has shared some new comments from the platform holder and Kojima regarding OD, as well as what appears to be an in-game screenshot. According to the publication, Kojima is hesitant to talk in detail about what OD is, for fear of revealing too much, but allegedly the broad concept is to get the player to overdose on fear. I wanted to do something new, I wanted to do something different, Kojima said. I had this OD concept since I was working on Death Stranding 1, and I was working on it just by myself. I can't reveal much detail, but it's something that no one has ever seen before, a new game system. He added, I pitched it to many people, to big companies, and also to the up-and-coming companies. And all of them said the same thing. They said that I'm crazy, and that they really don't understand the concept. That they will not be able to do it. According to Kojima, his objective for OD is to go beyond the limit of scariness that other games have reached. It is a single-player game, and I wanted to make it as scary as possible, he said. But for those who might stop playing when it gets too scary, I have thought of a system that will allow them to keep going. I can't say much more because it gives too much of a hint on the system, and I could get in trouble for saying too much. So, I'm interested in what exactly this means now. I don't know. We definitely know this sentence here from Kojima put it on the top of Tom's list. I know that for sure. He wanted to do the limits of scariness that other games had reached. So Tom, it has definitely moved up Tom's anticipated games board. But I am just interested to see what this is now. He does all of these promises, and they usually hit 75% of what he promises, and I'm curious to see what this game hits in terms of what he promises. So, fun thing, looking forward to OD. Let's just see how crazy Kojima is about it. And finally, Olivia Rodrigo is the latest musician to arrive on Fortnite as a playable character. Olivia, the three-time Grammy Awards-winning singer-songwriter, is the latest person to appear in the game's Icon series, which is dedicated to celebrities appearing as themselves in the game. Rodrigo is added to the game today, where players can purchase 2 outfits and a cosmetic set. She'll also appear as an NPC in the game's Battle Royale mode, available in the Fortnite shop now. Until July 25th are the following: Olivia Rodrigo's Sour outfit, Olivia Rodrigo Lover Girl outfit, Good For You emote with mirror breaking and flame effects, Maggots for Brains emote with hearts and fairy dust effects, 3 new jam tracks: Drop Dead, Maggots for Brains, and Deja Vu, Olivia's Butterfly Wings back bling, flammable sticker collection back bling. Players who find the Olivia Rodrigo NPC in Battle Royale can jam near her to unlock a free Heart Locket spray and a new loading screen. So guest characters that have been introduced this season. Just to show you how crazy Fortnite has kind of gotten here. The Bride and Go-Go from Kill Bill, Doc Brown, Marty McFly, Vincent and Jules from Pulp Fiction, Lisa from Blackpink, Danny Phantom, Lego Ninjago, Playboy Cardi, Kim Kardashian, SpongeBob SquarePants, Bleach, Batman Beyond, South Park, Adventure Time, The Office, Chaperone, K-Pop Demon Hunters, and Power Rangers, to just name a few. So, I believe Sabrina Carpenter is also in the game. As well, if you've gotten her. But yeah, this is the subject that makes me laugh about Fortnite, is just the insanity of sure, Olivia Rodrigo's in Fortnite. They've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, fine, that makes sense. And we just take it from there. And that will do it for the news. Thank you all for joining me. I apologize for the live viewers. We had some drop frame issues, disconnection issues a lot, mainly early on. But I did locally record this, so what you're hearing and seeing is not affected by the drop frame. So if any of those people that are watching live want to go back and catch anything I talked about, I am appreciative of that you would go re-listen to a show you stayed and listened to a second time. But yeah, it'll be all there. So the audio listeners and the YouTube viewers will not be affected by what happened on Twitch today. So, thank you all for being here. Just a house cleaning at the end here. Tonight we'll be playing UN Squadron. Hopefully we'll beat one of the 3 levels I have left. We should be done that game in a couple weeks. Fingers crossed. And then on Thursday, we'll be playing Final Fantasy X. We just got to the Jose Temple. So Tom will be doing that cluster of trials. And then on Friday, I'll be playing my backlog Buster in Hatoful Boyfriend, if you want to be there. Probably going to be like 8 p.m., just so we can get a lot of it in. And then on Saturday, we'll be finishing Trails, unless if there's more than 4 hours of content left, which I don't know how there is more than 4 hours of content left, but it is an RPG, so who knows. But we'll be going for at least 4 hours on Saturday. Sunday, it'll be News Hour. And then I might do a special stream on Monday. That's different, because July 6th, as I made a joke earlier on, that is my birthday. Next Monday is my birthday, so I might do a mini birthday stream instead of playing UN Squadron. So we'll see. I'll see what I can put together for that, and we can just have some fun with some stuff on here. Yeah. So once again, thank you all for joining me. It has been fun as always, and we'll see you tonight for UN Squadron. And if you don't join us then, we'll see you next week if you're just here for this show. All are welcome to join when they can. All right, so see you next time. Bye!